Ho ho boardies, welcome to Borderline Games. I'm Gareth and this is Ciconia When They Cry episode 4. So, last time. What happened? Okay, well all of the world's Gauntlet Knights competed in the International Standard Festival. Battle Festival or something, right, wasn't it? Then they all hung out in a virtual bathhouse for far too long. Don't believe me, go back, it happened. Then there was a weird scene with what looked like members of a weird cult with weird things in front of their face. I think 4 spies were revealed to have infiltrated the Gauntlet Knights. And then finally, Miyao was confronted by a version of himself saying that he is going to be responsible for a lot of Gauntlet Knight deaths. And that's where we got to last time. I think I covered everything. Oh yeah, and then the last thing was that someone was about to enter the room. Poyo! Will you give them access, Poyo? Whoa, who is it? Ah, they're finally here. It's those big sisters from the Leto military who refed for us today. We finally made it in. I told you it had to be a text conversation screw up. Japanese is hard. This is clearly a structural flaw in the Kizuni translator. Oh yeah, they talked a whole bunch about this Kizuna translator, which enables all people from all over the world to communicate to each other, but basically only children can communicate it, can utilize it because adults aren't able to understand it or naturally use it. They can use it a little bit, but will just kind of fuck it up or whatever. But children, because they kind of grew up in a world with this technology, can adapt to it a lot easier than adults can. So, you two also ended up with its rap public lust. Well, my country's official language is Portuguese after all. Japanese is tough. Haha! That proves you use lust a lot in your emails. Welcome, you two, to the It's a Rap public bath. Guess that means it's time for a storm of friend requests. I bet there's gonna be something about a mistranslation. It feels like it's been telegraphed quite heavily here. Foreshadowed a lot. You received a friend request, Poyo. 10 times. Wah 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 wah! What in the... My mental display got filled up with Kera Poyos. That's quite a welcome. Thanks for the invitation. We're Valentina from Leto, Brazil, and Mara Carmen from Leto, Mexico. Just this once, I'll let you call me Marie. Okay? That means we'll have to do the public bath oath again. Wow! If bonds of friendship tie the world together, humanity will never make such a foolish mistake again. Miyao, you may initiate the oath once more. Sure. Then let's all do it again, okay? Huh? Wait, what? What's going on? You're just a murder program. What? Just a murder program? Ciconia When They Cry. The pieces have been gathered. The pieces have been lined up. Our opponent isn't here yet. Perfect. King of Sorrow quote. It's a weird clock, that. You're supposed to recognize what that is underneath. Okay, let's start from our designated positions one more time. And let's focus more on our coordination this time. Unlike a super genius like me, the others are going to need some repeated practice. I've been covering for your little super genius scoops this whole time. Yeah. You can't treat Grave Mole like we're drones, Jayden. Sheesh. I guess you can't keep up with the superb movement ability Miyao and I have. There's no point saving a second of time if your coordination suffers. I know you're a super genius, so pay a little more attention to what's behind you. Even a super genius can't do anything without support from his comrades. And anyway, I see so much inefficiency in your trajectory data. You keep putting unnecessary strain on your international HMS. You got yelled at. You're definitely a super genius, Jayden. You're so much of one that you can't coordinate with normal people like us. Uh-oh. Miyao's totally entered lecture mode. Meow. And when he lectures, he keeps sending over specific data, so you can't fight back. Ah, Miyao, Second Lieutenant Miyao, Master Miyao, I'm so sorry. So please hit stupid slow Chloe with more and more relevant data. Looks like Chloe's reliving her past trauma. Meow. Miyao, if you don't put your lectures on hold and resume training the instructor... You brats! What are you slacking off for? This always happens when I turn my back for a second. You're the one who slacked off and took a break, instructor. Did you say something, Koshka? I don't think he heard you, so I'll text it to him. Meow. You fool. Chloe! Oh yeah, he takes it all out on Chloe. Why am I... Oh, instructor! Your time hasn't improved at all. You ended up looking that pathetic at the festival because you aren't taking this seriously. I don't think it was bad enough to be called pathetic. That asshole's probably been saying things like they'll definitely win first place. They've got me training them to his higher-ups, raising the bar for no reason. I agree. I'm not sure I like having a record like that dismissed so easily. Dummy. Stupid Okanagi. Meow. You shouldn't say things like that. Stupid Chloe just self-destructed. What's that, Chloe? You got something you'd like to say to me? It's nothing. I'm so sorry, instructor. Even in a world where you can talk to people with your brain, you can sometimes self-destruct. Accidents like speaking out loud when you're trying to badmouth someone mentally right in front of their face are an everyday occurrence in this world. Oh, so she was trying to actually say that internally. That being said, some kids can do the high-level technique of saying what they really think, then pretending it was an accident. Warcat, Brave Mole, to your positions. Gunhild, raise the AI level by 3. Roger that. Up 3 levels. Roger that. Boyo! Listen up. In the end, it isn't about logic, it's about beating it directly into your bodies. Empty your minds and repeat it again and again. Chloe, begin the countdown. Enemy AI has been adjusted. Chloe, go ahead. Then I'll begin the countdown. 3, 2, 1. Oh. Battle simulator. Let's go. Poyo! Miyao's data-packed lecture mode was definitely harsh, but it was much better than those old instructors' baseless theories on the supremacy of fighting spirit. Kids of the Selcom era thought of everything as data and numbers, but old world thinking was full of abstract, emotional, spiritual, and guts-based arguments. Sheesh. Miyao's accurate data storm lectures are better than this. Then again, it's like the difference between being pushed out a 10th story window or an 11th story window.
Hey, super genius. Concentrate. I'm watching your data so I can tell. Get ready for a big review meeting after this. And don't run away.
Seriously? Even the super genius Jayden, who didn't know how to be discouraged, was apparently hit hard by Miyao's lectures. And so, once again, the young Gauntlet Knights trained in all sorts of ways until they were worn out. Sheesh. Our instructor's weird fighting spirit logic really pisses me off. People without talent are always quick to start talking about fighting spirit.
Hey, I'd appreciate it if you didn't talk about our princess being behind her back. So, if you have no complaints and everything's explained to you logically, Jayden.
Well, you can still go too far, yeah? Ever since the It's a Wrap public bath party, this virtual room had become a meeting place for Gauntlet Knights regardless of nationality. Whenever the young hit it off, it usually doesn't take long for them to become friends. And getting to hear or tell stories to people from different environments is a very precious thing for their young hearts. So their naivety is going to start some kind of, I don't know, terrorist attack or something? You know, that they weren't prepared for. The vast majority of parallel processors were women, so the Gauntlet boys were a minority. Today had become a rare all-boy gathering. I suppose all factions are the same. Middle-aged men who act all-important are always scum. Are COU instructors scum too? I figured they'd be wise compared to our instructor. Whoa! If they had a scummy instructor battling Battle Standard Festival, our COU team would take golds in every event.
At least they're a bit better than our ABN instructors, in that you're allowed to openly criticize them.
I imagine that if you badmouth your instructors in the ABN, you'll get arrested on the spot, yes?
In a courtyard where you can't insult anyone to their face, you form a culture capable of insulting people without it sounding like you're insulting them.
Sounds nice. So, for example, what would you say to an irritating superior officer who never shows any appreciation for their subordinates' work?
It's our way to say the opposite of what we mean. Something like, I am truly grateful for the heartfelt support you always show me, instructor.
Nice. I'll take it. A friend has arrived, Poyo!
Ishak Abduo. So you were lounging about here. Get back to our training. When it comes to training, fighting spirit and guts are vital. Be honoured by the opportunity to sweat for my sake.
Your Grace, thank you for your ever-present, heartfelt support.
For which we are ever so grateful, Princess Rithabile. Rithabile?
Huh? Right. Very well then.
I think Jayden's my favourite so far. In any era, getting to complain together and feel a sense of camaraderie, is that how you say that? Is the best part of talking with close friends. Furthermore, they were used to background operation, so they could chat like this at any time, without having to worry about time zones or even what the other person was doing at that moment. It was a wonderful era they were in. Hang on. Accidentally went up to the previous thing. Jayden laughing again. In this era, high-quality sleep substitute drugs had been developed so sleep was no longer necessary. Humanity had effectively doubled the density and time in a human life. But of course, it wasn't a perfect dreamlike drug. It only freed you from the need to sleep. So if you wanted to maintain your concentration, you needed to rely on things like that ancient drug, caffeine. Oh no. If you tried to study for a test all night, you might not get sleepy, but you'd get bored and start hating it halfway through. For most people who didn't have anything they needed to do so badly that it was worth abandoning sleep, it wasn't really that valuable. After all, it can get pretty boring if you have no work or any desire to do anything until dawn, and you're incapable of feeling sleepy, even if you lay down. So this drug was only used regularly by the young, who could never find enough time to study and play. Thanks to that, the young lost the concept of time zones. They were always awake, so they could communicate with anyone regardless of day and night, even if that person was on the other side of the planet. The fact that they were capable of communication this rich was a powerful weapon in the young one's arsenal. Though some places did close down in the middle of the night, the shopping district was always open, even at this hour. Jayden could be seen in the nighttime shopping district, during a time range when only young people who loved the anti-sleeping drug were up and about. Damn it. For Jayden, all that complaining and laughing with friends in the public bath had made for a good change of pace. At least the part about complaining about instructors had. Miyao, go at least a little easy on me. His lectures are like a tornado of good points. I can't contradict him, so I wish... damn it. He couldn't call Miyao a bastard or an arsehole. His head would explode because of the chip that Miyao had planted there. All his points were right on the mark. When Jayden actually followed those suggestions, he noticed the difference clearly. All he could do then was lick the wounds that had been inflicted on super genius Jayden's pride. Aren't we war buddies from the same ket? Even if you're right, couldn't you say it a bit more nicely? Ugh. True to what Jayden had always claimed, he was enough of a genius, ace, to earn the super qualification. For a long time, he'd never been inferior to anyone around him in any way. However, that was when he'd been surrounded by what he called normal people. When surrounded by the best gauntlet aces, the ultimate collection of talent, he couldn't always be on top. Of that group, only Matake Miyao felt like a rival he might not be able to match. Sounds like jealousy, something that someone could exploit if they wanted to. Even though, until recently, Jayden had always focused on his own victory, achieving success again and again. It's because he's always looking at his opponent. While doing his best to achieve victory, Miyao would simultaneously search to find out how he could counter his opponent's best. And he would accurately notice when those opponents did well or badly, even when said opponents didn't notice it themselves. Right. After getting criticised again and again and again, there was no compliment at the end today. That's why I'm so down. Miyao's lecture mode today was a rush of valid points and data as usual. But after I get beaten down, he's supposed to finish it with a compliment, so I can look forward to hearing him make suggestions. And today the instructor butted in. Miyao's lecture mode got cut off. You're pathetic, super genius Jayden. Since when has my mood jumped all around, all over the place because of every word that skinny pipsqueak says? Wait a sec. I'm obsessing over this way too much. How the heck did I get here? I checked with my mental display and saw that I'd travelled several stations down. I didn't come to this place often. Still, if I wanted to totally reset my mood, coming to a part of the city I wasn't used to may have just been what I needed. I looked around. Information from countless shops flooded my brain. Of course, getting hit with a flood of information just leads to confusion, so I used one of my favourite information filters and simplified the data in my vision. When I did, a nearby game centre was marked as recommended.
Puyo, I found a recommended spot according to your tastes. It's the game salon Armageddon. Puyo! Rating 4 out of 5, safety 4 out of 5, cleanliness 3 out of 5.
It was my first time going to this place, but it didn't look bad. And according to its description, one of its popular games had just received an update. Nice. It's been a while since I've filled the high score list with my name. Something gonna happen to Jayden. In this era, even game centres were decorated like fancy Victorian-style saloons on the inside. However, the lines of beautifully adorned sofas had a lot of whirring, like a military simulator. In an era with mental displays, anyone could play games even during class, without anyone else knowing. However, the locations called game centres were a bit different. In addition to the mental display, they also projected the game screen on a spatial display. Why? Isn't it obvious? To show off your skill to people you've never seen before. Of course, even in this era, game live streams on the internet were alive and well. You could interact with them in many ways, including voice and text. However, some demanding young people felt that there was no replacement for the sensation of seeing live reactions. Because of these people, relics from the old world like game centres still existed, and boldly so, despite how far civilization had advanced. Good live gameplay requires a crowd of young people to watch. You get to have a great time, cheering and or showing their disappointment in an exaggerated manner. That takes me back. I remember when I'd go into game centres where all the neighbourhood brats hung out. He bought a drink as a substitute for the entry fee, then sat down in a random empty seat. Gloomy people, vaguely lacking in self-confidence, might sit in the corner, even though they wanted to be seen. However, Super Genius Jayden wasn't like that. He'd sit openly in the throne right in the middle, left open because of that special Japanese brand of embarrassment that they call humility. His Cellcom immediately informed him that it had successfully connected to his seat. Then, the display told him that he could benefit from a promotional campaign if he entered his Kazuna ID. Actually, he'd had his Kazuna set to off. If he hadn't, then a friend would have heartlessly messaged him regardless of whether he was feeling neurotic or depressed. At that moment, he wanted some time to himself, so he didn't activate Kazuna and chose not to participate in the promo. Well, if I get an ultra high score and expose my ID, I'll get so many friend requests from people I don't know. It'll be a pain. In any era, if you carelessly expose your personal information, you'll get a rush of weird direct mail and sales calls. Okay. Let's do this! Hilarious, right? A Gauntlet Knight got depressed by his training, so to shake it off, he started playing a game about Gauntlet Knights. So it's literally about Gauntlet Knights. Gauntlet Knights who could fly unassisted and dominate a battlefield on their own were what kids around the world wanted to become. So, there were many games that simulated being a Gauntlet Knight. Wonder if they're accurate? This was also a useful way in all countries to find people with high aptitudes. For that reason, games like this were placed in game centres all over the world. I love flying solo. No need to keep perfect pace with a noisy partner. The quality here was much lower than a military simulator, but for a game, this was more than good enough. Furthermore, all his experiences from normal training would come back to him, and the realism could be supplemented by his brain and grow pretty intense. This was his first time playing at the game centre, so he would run through the tutorial first and get a feel for this particular location. Now to select a difficulty level. Easy, normal, hard? Yeah, right. I'll boldly flick my mental tablet, The word hard instantly shot off the top of the screen, which scrolled down to the no hand holding settings like ultra hard and nightmare. The one I chose was the last one. Real Gauntlet Night. Let's go. LFG gamers, I'll show them I'm a super genius.
No way. Is he really doing it on real? Is he crazy? He's got all his controls set to manual. If he's on real, what's he going to do about the Stage 7 boss's missile barrage?
The Stage 7 boss was modelled off the Atlantis, the ACR combined military Super Fortress class segmented warship. It was made up of 7 connected Fortress class warships, meaning it was more than just a ship. It was a fortress on the sea. A barrage of countless missiles was being launched from there, drawing a beautiful geometric shape that dazzled any who saw it. Here I go! Ha!
Whoa, awesome! Look at him move! Crap, I feel sick just watching this. Is this guy a god?
He magnificently dodged the countless guided missiles chasing after him, shooting them down with perfect accuracy. Just like a missile matador. The excitement in the store reached a crescendo and the noise made even passers-by stop and look. When Jayden completed the game to the utmost excitement, he waved back at the cheering young people throughout the salon. Whew. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for your support. This really does feel good. Thank God I came to this game centre. Now, that uneasy feeling is gone. Jayden sank deep into the sofa, enjoying the feeling, and slowly sipped his drink. The excitement in the salon calmed down and everyone went back to enjoying their own games or watching others. If you register a Kizuna ID, you can take advantage of our Point Rally Start Dash campaign. It's because I was playing pretty well just now. They don't want to miss out because I'm an unregistered user. Okay, might as well register. I'll have to add a comment that I'm not taking friend requests. He set his Kizuna, which had been off, to on. He immediately received several ad emails.
A friend has arrived, Poyo.
Already? Who is it? Kizuna always displayed a message like that when a friend's avatar came to visit over the internet, or if a friend came near you in real life. This wasn't an avatar visit. Did that mean one of his friends was nearby? The friend's sign was very close. Apparently, I didn't see them because I was set to off, but they're actually inside this store. That's a bit cold, not saying hi even though they're in the same game center. Who is it? Where are they? I tried to check their friend sign through my mental tablet, but it suddenly disappeared. Now that it was gone, I had no way of knowing the person's name or where they were. Hey, that's creepy. In other words, a friend inside the store had realized that Jayden was nearby and had hurriedly set their Kizuna to off. That does tick me off a bit. I don't know who it is, but I think they need a good talking to. That's not something you do to your friends, right? I've got to give them a big lecture filled with valid points and lots of data, huh? I looked around the store. Okay, where are you hiding? There were more customers than usual at this time of day, partly due to the after effects of Jayden's super playing. This person probably knew who Jayden was, so if he set up camp in front of the store, they probably wouldn't come strolling out. He checked the store map from his Kizuna. There was one more route out of the store, the back door near the bathroom. Look, there's the shadow of a person rushing through, and clearly not someone who has to use the bathroom. Hey, wait. Hey, you're Miyao, right? Hey, wait! He recognized the person from behind. It was definitely Matake Miyao, his partner from the War Cats. Though he could hear Jayden, he was hurrying away, trying to blend in with the shopping centre crowd. Interestingly, he was leaving with a quick shuffling walk. Jayden, feeling that it'd be unfair to run after him, followed along with a similar shuffling walk. Wait, hey, Miyao, Miyao! Why are you shutting your Kizuna off and running away? That's creepy, man. Hey, is it something I did? Something during training just now? Did I do something so weird that it pissed you off? Miyao continued that shuffling walk without turning around. Jayden chased after him in the same way, calling out questions and complaints at Miyao's back. To anyone watching this, it probably looked as though they were having a lover's quarrel. Hey, I may be a gentleman, but I've just about had it, okay? As expected, there was no response. However, Miyao was Miyao. It couldn't possibly be anyone else. After all, considering how long Jayden had been following them, someone other than Miyao would have called the police by now. I've just about had it! You've got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. I've had enough. This time, I'm the lecturer. I'll make Miyao say he's sorry. Hey, wait, Miyao! Jayden raced forward, grabbing Miyao's thin arms and forcibly spun him round. However, Miyao? Huh? Crap. Did I really mistake him for someone else? That's not possible. You're Miyao, right? You are, aren't you? It was almost as though he was trying to convince himself, rather than interrogate this person. He did think it was Matake Miyao. His eyes and his nose and his mouth. Many bits of information made it clear that this was Miyao himself. However, well, the atmosphere about him, or something Jayden couldn't really describe, belonged to something that resembled Miyao, yet wasn't. Only then Jayden realised that Miyao's whole demeanour was different from usual. And the colour of his lips seemed more sensual or something. The skinniness of the shoulder he was grasping was definitely Miyao's, but now that skinniness felt like something of the opposite sex. Oh. So is Miyao's like avatar male, but Miyao's real life form is actually female? Is that what's going on here? Could this be a girl who looked just like Miyao? Wait. You're Miyao, right? You are, aren't you?
I'm not Miyao.
Liar. Then turn your Kizuna on.
No.
Crap, this totally looks like a couple of fighting. The eyes of people walking by hurt. Jayden took the guy who was definitely Miyao but claimed not to be. No, maybe this isn't even a guy. He took the kid into a nearby store and sat them down. By this point, a certain possibility had risen to Jayden's mind. I'm a super genius, so I don't really need it. I don't really get it, but on lots of Gauntlet Knight candidates. Now I've done it. Sorry. He had planned on making this person apologize, but in the end, Jayden was the one who apologized. You're one of those, aren't you? Your body is Matake Miyao, but you aren't, right? As though giving up, the person shut their eyes tight and gave a slight nod. Oh, someone is... what is going on? Sorry. I Didn't know. To become a parallel processor, you needed to undergo special training from a young age. However, that didn't mean all babies had equal amounts of talent. No matter how much one trained, some people couldn't become parallel processors, and while some developed surprising amounts of talent with very little effort, it was well known that people with natural talents like this often developed a certain type of split personality. Okay, hang on. Let me read this again. It didn't mean all babies had equal amounts of talent no matter how much one trained. Some people couldn't become parallel processors, while some developed surprising amounts of talent with very little effort. It was well known that people with natural talents like this developed split personalities. Multiple personality disorder, in its commonly known form, occurs when a neural trauma creates a data partition in the brain and gives birth to a new personality, one that hasn't been influenced by the trauma, in order to protect one's mind. This is an acquired trait. However, in extremely rare cases, multiple personalities can appear as a congenital? Is that what that's saying? Congenital trait. Unlike acquired multiple personality disorder, its biggest identifying feature is that the personalities can be awake at the same time. It means that two consciousnesses can literally exist simultaneously in a single body. So what we saw in the last episode was Miyao having a split personality moment and the two personalities confronting each other. They can each think of and concentrate on different things. In fact, they can apparently even have verbal arguments with each other using the same mouth. They truly are born parallel processors. As you might expect, the training they received at a young age was more effective for them than it was for a single personality. And this improved the more personalities they had. Since Gauntlet Knights needed to be capable of parallel thinking, humans born with multiple simultaneous thoughts in the same brain made for incredibly suitable candidates. So according to one theory, 30% of famous Gauntlet Knights, 60% according to a different theory, had this special kind of congenital multiple personality disorder. Furthermore, these people would feel hurt if you called it multiple personality disorder, so they were now referred to as CPPs, congenital parallel processors. So this isn't Miyao. This is part of, I don't know, the person that we have been referring to as Miyao. This is the other personality? I don't know if that's what is going on here. When I was in America, I had a friend who was congenital. I was a brat who didn't really understand. So I kept saying, show me a different personality and do something crazy. Treating him like some kind of show instead of thinking about how he must have felt. I regret it now. No matter how much talent you have, it's never pleasant when people look at you strangely. So even though Gauntlet Knights have become a shared dream for kids all over the world, almost no one comes out as a CPP. It was all thanks to what remained of stereotypes from the old era, where multiple personalities were treated like something out of the occult or horror genres. You know, I wasn't the one who started calling myself a super genius. I've been told that since I was very young at the training institute. This kid's a super genius with all that parallel processing power despite not being a CPP. Thinking back on it, maybe all of them were CPPs, not just the friend who came out about it. And I treated that friend like some kind of bizarre animal. Imagining how everyone else must have felt made my chest hurt. Miyao. Wait. That's not right. I want to treat you as an individual human being. Would you mind telling me your name? Huh? Oh.
Meow.
It sounded like someone imitating a cat's cry. No, wait, that's not it. I see. Miyao and Miyao. Huh? What a cute name. Miyao. Are you a girl?
Yeah.
Ah, sorry about earlier. I grabbed your shoulder hard. That's no way to treat a girl, right? Forgive me.
It's okay.
Two personalities with different genders in the same body. Huh? Sounds like something you'd find in some old Japanese manga. Wait. I shouldn't be thinking up jokes. No, seriously. I'm so sorry.
Don't apologize so much, okay? I shouldn't have run, and I should have told you.
Miyao, what should I do? I want to treat you the way you want to be treated.
Huh?
If you ask me to forget everything that happened today, I'll forget about you completely by tonight. If I ever realize I'm seeing you as Miyao, I'll pretend I don't know you. Anyway, the way Jayden panicked as he tried his best to be polite must have looked a little humorous. Miyao giggled, and Jayden, not realizing why she was laughing, opened his eyes even wider.
Thanks. You're nice, Jayden.
No, I'm just... Ugh.
If you act so humble, it just makes this more uncomfortable. So really, don't worry about it. And anyway, I've been by your side all this time. If you act so distant, it actually makes me feel lonely.
I see. After all, you still exist even when Miyao is there. So what about today's training?
Hey, I'm a Gauntlet Knight too. Is Miyao going to be actually really nice to Jayden? I split the work with Big Brother, checking our surroundings and controlling our posture and stuff.
I see. Is that how it was? So you've been my other partner all along? At the word partner, Miyao smiled broadly for the first time. Miyao was probably the main personality. So Miyao's personality always had to be kept hidden away, and it was hard for others to notice it. She must have been happy to be recognized as a separate personality. I think Miyao's aware of Miyao. Big brother, huh? So you're Miyao's little sister? My old friends said his personalities were friends with each other.
It's brother and sister in our case. There's all sorts, depending on the person.
So Miyao usually controls your body. Or sometimes you put on makeup like a girl and go out at night to have fun like this.
Yeah.
So she's been having fun in a part of town far separated from the area Mitaka Miyao lives in. So that no one knew no one who knew her would realize that she's a CPP. Excuse me for that. Still, it's a bit unsafe for a pretty girl like you to play around in a city at night, don't you think?
Sometimes weird people do try to talk to me.
No kidding. A girl this cute walking around without a boyfriend? You'd be crazy if you didn't try to talk to her. No, you'd be crazy if you didn't try to talk to her. As Jayden said this, he gradually turned red. Just yesterday, he thought of this person as a cool partner of the same gender. Now he suddenly had to treat her like a girl, even though this was the same physical body. Except for a little makeup, this was totally Miyao. Now I'm feeling kind of hot and sweaty. Oh, he's in love. Miyao, the next time you come here to have fun, let me know.
Huh?
Super Genius Jayden, will be your bodyguard and make sure no weirdos come after you.
Oh. Yeah. I think having a bodyguard would be nice.
That body belongs to my two partners, Miyao and Miyao. So it's only natural that I protect it. But why do I keep turning red? What I'm saying is perfectly normal, right? My partner's body is tiny, and it'd suck if some weirdo came after him and hurt him when he was off having fun at night. So I'm offering to stay by his side. There's nothing remotely strange about that. Oh, I get it. It's because of how Miyao's face looks. Because you look like that. I can't figure out what to do next. Enough with this weird sweat already.
Thanks, Jayden. I'll definitely ask you to do that when the time comes.
Sure. Send me a Kazuna message whenever you like. Would they ever have been able to talk like this if Jayden had only ever known Miyao? The two of them chatted about things they never would have discussed if it had been Miyao. Before long, Jayden was gradually beginning to understand. I see. I get it. When Miyao was lecturing me, he would always praise me for doing something good at the very end. No matter how small it was, he'd always find something. Was that Miyao? That was you, wasn't it?
How?
Come to think of it, I always thought it was weird that Miyao always tore me down then managed to encourage me at the end. But after talking with you, I'm sure the person who was always watching me and praising me so that I could give it my all was you, Miyao. Even though Jayden had met her for the first time today, he could see how much unexpected joy those words gave her. Something twinkled a little near her tightly shut eyes.
You're really cool, Jayden. I can't believe you noticed that I was there.
Well, of course. I'm still super genius, Jayden.
Yeah. A super genius. And cool. I know that. I'm always watching from nearby, so I know.
But isn't Miyao listening to this conversation? The next time I see him, he'll tell me not to be a creep around his sister and beat the crap out of me.
Oh, that's okay. When I don't want to be heard, I make sure the door of my heart is shut.
Apparently privacy between personalities is possible. And she can apparently take her current experiences and memories and either share them with Miyao or keep them for herself. Thinking about it that way, this is pretty rough. A brother and sister living in the same body. Beyond that, I don't remember much of what we talked about. However, until the sky lit up, I think we kept on talking at random about fun stuff, though I don't remember it well. Guys were another matter. Just before dawn wasn't a very safe time for girls. At that hour, they would sometimes get bugged by guys who'd been having fun all night and who were weirdly excited. But she said she wanted to secretly go home on her own. Miyao was a girl, but the main personality of that body was Miyao. In other words, people thought of them as a guy.
If people knew that Mitaka Miyao was walking around in makeup like a girl, it would cause Big Brother trouble. If that happens, he'd stop letting me go out to play.
Then shouldn't it be the other way round?
Huh?
You walk back home openly with me. If you do bump into someone we know, I'll say this isn't Miyao, it's a girlfriend of mine.
I see.
Miao's face had gone red as if someone had boiled it. Huh? Did I really say something that embarrassing? Apparently Kazuna had interrupted girlfriend as girlfriend. Or interpreted girlfriend as girlfriend. In English, Jayden had only meant that he'd introduce her as a girl he was friends with, but in places that spoke Japanese, the phrase always meant a more long-term one-on-one romantic relationship.
It's okay. I know what you meant. Kazuna translates things weird sometimes, doesn't it?
That's really a pain. I'll try and find a better Japanese translation patch.
No matter how much technology advances. Communication really is made up of more than words and text. There's also your eyes, your expression, the atmosphere, smells, your heart beating, and all of it makes communication possible.
Yeah. If we ever start living in an electronic world, it'd be pretty boring. Too many ends.
Kazuna translation mistakes, getting embarrassed and trying to run away, and chasing after people who do that. Every bit of that is a precious part of communication between humans. This ultimate communication tool had broken down all barriers, obviously including language. However, that definitely didn't mean it was better than facing someone and talking to them in person. I wonder whether if people have split personalities, that in this world they can be implanted on people. That cliche, which old culture people always used to criticize things like Kazuna,
bounced through the minds of the two youths, who were both acting embarrassed. In the end, the two of them did return to their lodgings together. Apparently they didn't get a chance to bump into someone they knew, and make use of their excuse that they were girlfriends or boyfriends or whatever. Wow, what a twist. Very interesting. Alright, well that's another episode of Ciconia When They Cry. Thanks for watching Borderline Games. And I will see you next time here. I'll meet you here. I'll be on the corner. I'll be the one with a rose in my pocket. Bye bye.